Top 10 funniest writers in the world. Perfect to prevent depression and disconnect you from the routine with several words, phrases, verses or comments. Comedy or humour books are the perfect solution, not only to know the vast universe of literature, but also to help us appreciate this genre that, in many cases, has been overshadowed by drama, horror, action or fantasy. Here we will present 10 of the greatest comedy writers who have managed to bring to light the best of the genre in each of their literary works. Number 10. Michal Witkowski. Wild parodies of a police story or a typical black novel, loaded with even darker humour and with the ability to make ingenious semantic associations. The writer Michal Witkowski stands out for creating literary works full of elements of humour and gay themes. In a very eccentric way, with a contrast between the old communist mentality and the new, savage capitalism, and with the appearance of archetypal and grey characters, The Woodcutter is perhaps one of the best known and most fun books ever written. Number 9. Jerome K Jerome. A Honeymoon Trip was the inspiration to write one of the most important comedy literary works in the world. Three Men in a Boat was the book that catapulted Jerome K Jerome's career, a success he couldn't repeat again. However, with the economic security that the sales produced him, Jerome was able to dedicate all his time to writing, and his literary style influenced all the greatest comedians and satirists around the world. Number 8. Evelyn Waugh. Known as one of the best comedy writers in modern English literature, Evelyn Waugh used satire to criticize harshly the lack of values in modernity, and especially in British society, through the customs of high society and the aristocracy British described in each one of his books. Number 7. Tom Sharpe. Using cruel humour in his novels that even becomes offensive to many, the writer Tom Sharpe has managed to divide his readers, among those who consider him annoying and who think he's one of the best comedy writers. Combining many subjects and using a vulgar and explicit language, he converts his works into a harsh critique of society, politics, culture, morals, and even general stupidity. Number 6. P.G. Wodehouse. Outstanding humour novelist that maintained its popularity with its more than 100 written novels. His works are composed not only of peculiar characters living in absurd situations, but also of a very particular irony, an almost mathematical domain of literary parody, complex intrigues, and a unique style that contrasts between vulgarity and elegance. Number 5. Johann Salvador Lavado Tejón. Who hasn't heard about Mafalda? Everyone at some point had the pleasure of reading the adventures and the reflections of this little girl about the world. Representing in his characters the behaviour of ordinary people, Quino uses acid and even cynical humour to criticise the misery and absurdity of human behaviour. Number 4. Jonathan Tropper. Fun and very creative, Jonathan Tropper has endless novels that have inspired TV series and movies. Presenting their characters in uncomfortable and even absurd situations, Tropper, based on personal experience, creates very common themes for the reader, such as singleness, marriage, loneliness, divorce, infidelity, common life in the suburbs, and maturity of being human. Number 3. Terry Pratchett. Dedicated to writing funny stories full of fantasy and science fiction, Terry Pratchett is best known for his series of more than 35 books called Discworld. Using parody frequently, this important writer has not only sold millions of books around the world, but has also created countless literary works, such as short stories and even scripts to adapt his stories to several TV series. Number 2. Woody Allen. Known for being a famous film director, Woody Allen began his career writing plays, gags and comic stories in magazines and newspapers. In addition, various books have been published that not only collect these stories, but also show their unique humorous style, full of gestures, farces, skits, satires, absurd situations, and above all, a very harsh criticism of morality and society. Number 1. Douglas Adams. After having worked as a screenwriter, theatre critic, actor, writer, bodyguard, choral cleaner, and even Pink Floyd guitarist, Douglas Adams was finally world-renowned for his literary success, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. These book collections eventually served as inspirations for several video games, plays, and film adaptations.
Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We publish content every week for your entertainment. Leave a comment to let us know what you would like to see in our next Top